going on, everyone? Welcome to Birds of the Round Table. Happy draft week to all draft sickos everywhere. Today we are doing a Would You Rather show, talking about the top prospects and kind of comparing it to the previous two drafts. Joining me, here's Shane Haff at Shane Haff NFL. What's up, Shane?
Sometimes it feels weird being in the opposite corner of the screen here. I'm excited to just kick back and relax tonight.
Yeah, I love it. But you're hosting the next one. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Also joining us, my man Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Oh, not much. This draft cannot get here any sooner. I know it's only 2 days away, but it's going to feel like an eternity trying to work 2 more days.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, last but not least, David at PHL Eagle News. What's good, David?
What's up, man? Ready to get into it again. The last mock drafts, draft conversations, rankings, and all this crap. 48 hours from now, it all comes to an end, man.
Absolutely. I'm just kind of ready to get this rolling. But anyway, we have some NFL-related would you rathers. We've got some Eagles-related would you rathers, and then some NFC East would you rathers. I'm going to throw it around the horn. I'm hoping to get some disagreement. And guys, if you're watching us live, please be sure to comment your reactions to the questions. And also, Thursday night, we will be live here at Eagles Pinpool doing a draft watch party. We've got a lot of stuff prepped and ready to go for this thing. Tons and tons of work has gone into this thing, scouting reports, you name it. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We will be doing some draft trivia, maybe some Shane versus the audience, and have some fun with that as well. We got Rufus in the house. What is going on, Rufus? Thanks for joining. Let's roll with our first NFL-related would you rather. Shane, would you rather, for 2025, would you rather have an early first-round pick or 2 late first-round picks in the 2025 draft?
Early first-round pick, easy. It feels like there's not much difference from like 12 to 30. So I would rather have an early first than 2 late firsts.
Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of agree with you, but I still feel like I would rather with 2 late first round. You get 2 shots of getting it right. And, nothing's ever guaranteed. So,
David.
I think I would go with, are we talking like a top 10 pick?
Yeah, pretty much.
Then, yeah, I'm going with 1. I'm going with the top 10 pick. I'm going with the sure thing in the draft and splitting the difference with 2 picks late. I kind of agree with Shane. I had like 15 people ranked with like first round grades. And then I have 50 people ranked between 15 and 40. So, yeah, I got a whole ton of guys. I got like 20 extra guys going up to 50. So, yeah, give me one of the top 10 players in the draft. Give me Will Johnson.
Yeah, I gave 18 first-round grades and 40 second-round grades this year.
Yeah.
So
it should probably be a good time to also tease our draft guide. We've got tons of information there that'll be coming out shortly, so be on the lookout for that. Moving forward, next thing, everyone is going to raise their right arm, and if you think this player is better than the next, you lower it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Raise your hand if you think Cam Ward is a lesser prospect. Keep your hand up until you hear the prospect you would rank him higher than. Would you rather Cam Ward or Caleb Williams? Would you rather Cam Ward or Jaden Daniels? Would you rather Cam Ward or Drake May? Bryce Young? Anthony Richardson? CJ Stroud?
I'm out at Stroud.
All right, there it is. So I think that's pretty consensus. Yeah, there's a report out there from Schefter that there's not a lot of first-round grades on any of these guys. Let's do Shedeur Sanders. Raise your right arm. Caleb Williams. Jaden Daniels. Drake May. Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix. All right, Spencer Rattler, Jordan Travis. Okay.
Man, Spencer Rattler love right there for David.
Man, not a lot of love for Shador Sanders. What's going on? Two-time champ, Jaden Daniels. Interesting. All right, we're gonna keep the same train rolling. Right, arms up. All right, who's your best tackle in 2025? Is it Membo or is it Will Campbell?
Membo.
Membo. All right, that's what I thought. Would you rather Armand Membo or Joe Alt?
Ooh.
Would
That's
you rather Armand Membo or J.C. Latham? Oh,
I'm
Ryan,
teetering.
make a decision.
I'm teetering. All right. I guess I'll go. Man, that's tough.
Okay. All right, let's roll on to would you rather. I think we're pretty solid that Ted McMillan is the number one wide receiver in this class. Yep. Let's start with Ted. Would you rather T-Mac, arms up, T-Mac or Marvin Harrison Jr.? Would you rather?
Wait. You guys would both take T-Mac over Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Wait.
You guys are insane.
Yeah.
I feel like that's crazy talk.
I think I did it the other way. My bad.
Yeah.
Hold up. I've been putting my arm down at the person that I would like when I'm out on T-Mac. Which way are we doing this?
So you think for example, you think Tet is better than Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Not even close. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not surrounded by crazy people.
Yeah,
you're supposed to drop your hand when you would rather have the name he mentions.
Yeah. I'd
Okay.
rather have
I probably screwed up that explanation, but yeah. So you would think MHJ is better than
100%.
Would you rather
Yes.
Ted McMillan or Malik Neighbors? Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas Jr., Jackson Smith and Jigba,
I'd rather
Xavier
have
Worthy.
McMillan.
Xavier Worthy. Oh my God. Quentin Johnson.
Now I'm out. I had a top 20 grade on Xavier Worthy, man. I got to stick with that.
Interesting. That's fascinating. We have Pump Man saying T-Mac is mid.
And Pumper hates everybody.
If I'm the Steelers or another quarterback hungry team, I think I'd rather take a shot at Will Levis or McKee. I fully agree with that. Great comment, Rufus. How do you get this game? I probably explained it wrong. JSN is way better than T-Mac.
Yeah, we all said that.
JSN so much better. Yep.
Yes.
All right. Would you rather Abdul Carter, arms up, Will Johnson Jr.? Abdul Carter.
Wait, what?
Would you rather have Abdul Carter or Will Johnson?
So we're crossing positions.
Yeah, now we're at edge.
Okay, give me Abdul Carter.
Okay.
Wait, Will Johnson? Are you sure that's who you mean to say?
I said Will Anderson.
No, you said
you said Will Johnson. Okay.
Yeah,
I
you
was
said
like,
Johnson multiple
Oh, I'm
times.
sorry. Will Anderson.
That's why I was like, what?
this is why I usually host. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. Very well.
Will Carter or oh my gosh, I almost said Will Campbell.
or the field of wills.
Anybody else say Will?
Will Anderson.
Yeah, Will Anderson all the way.
All right. Abdul Carter or Liatu Latu?
I'm going Abdul.
Yeah, I think I'm going Abdul here.
I'd take Latu.
Abdul Carter or Dallas Turner?
I would take Abdul.
Interesting.
But I'd take Jared Verse.
Yeah, that was my next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got two more here. All right, would you rather Mason Graham, arms up, or Jalen Carter?
If anybody put
David, you're supposed to keep your hand up.
Oh,
my
yeah.
finger hand up.
This has confused the hell out of me.
Mason
Yeah.
Graham or Byron Murphy II? Mason
That's
Graham
About the same.
or Kalijah Kancey? All right. And last but not least, would you rather have Will Johnson, where this is like kind of like the consensus number one cornerback,
Right.
outside cornerback, Will Johnson or Devin Witherspoon?
Witherspoon.
Will Johnson or Quinyon Mitchell?
Mitchell for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so you raise your head. No, yeah, you said Mitchell. Will Johnson or Terrion Arnold?
I'd stick with Arnold.
Yeah.
Will Johnson or Nate Wiggins?
I think I'd stick with Wiggins too.
Okay.
Ryan's out though.
Will Johnson or Cooper DeJean?
DeJean.
Back in.
Will Johnson or Kool-Aid McKinstry?
I'd take Will Johnson there.
Fascinating. All right. So I think that we have 2 times saying Carter, Lord Jesus, and I'll accept no Mason Graham hate, but Carter is a god.
To be fair, if you disagree with any of David's takes, he probably actually agrees with you.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So that exercise, the entire point was just to say how weak this draft is.
Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah.
pretty consensus right
Steve
there.
Plummer. Come
I
on.
went through
combined
the
the
top
two
position.
drafts, and I had 19 people from 2024 and 13 from 2025.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm like 66% still in on last year's draft above this one.
Yeah.
I know it's
But
way
this is the
too
last COVID year, though. It
it's
does
way
matter.
too late to think of this as a show idea. But it'd be fascinating to do a show where we combined the 24 and 25 draft classes and did a 1-round mock draft and see how many we ended up with from each year
Yeah.
Hey, there's always next week.
after the draft.
Yeah, that's not bad. Good.
All right.
It's a long off season.
Punt man saying I'll take.
This is why. This is just
Wow.
being crazy. And I love me some Ringo. That's why.
Yeah. That's a wild take.
I'm much higher on Will Johnson than you guys for sure. All right. Now let's get to some Eagles related would you rather's. Rufus chimed in. I wouldn't take Will Johnson over Jenkins.
Isaiah Jenkins?
Jenkins?
I don't
I
know.
don't know who that is. That
Well,
sounds like a
he's a-
hockey player.
No, he's
that sounds like a
Eagles
figure
corner
skater.
from
Oh
the
my
80s.
God. Are you two serious?
Eagles.
I
corner
wasn't
from the
alive
80s.
in the 80s.
So what?
Oh Lord.
You were alive in the 80s.
Fair
No,
point.
I
Shane.
wasn't.
No, you were born in 1990?
Yep.
God damn, you're so freaking young. Oh, I hate being so old. But come on. Just because I wasn't born in the 70s doesn't mean I've never heard of Bill Berge.
Who?
Oh my God.
We're getting older, and it's less likely.
What was his nickname? Toast.
Yes.
That's a
Was it-
really bad nickname for a cornerback.
Yeah, it was earned. Yeah.
I can't help it. I was born in 1981.
That's what I called Byron Maxwell.
Yes.
All right, let's roll to Eagles related would you rather's. We'll start with David. Would you rather trade up for Colston Loveland or trade back and select cornerback Benjamin Morrison?
Who's this for?
David.
Okay.
Like how far? Like what are we giving up? I guess to make that move.
There's no. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
give.
we're not getting
for
into
all
these.
these. There's too many to. Go.
Whatever the normal amount to get up is.
Like, are we
whatever the
losing
normal-
pick 96 in this or something? Like, I mean,
Probably.
it has to have- yeah, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm taking Benjamin Morrison and moving down and grabbing an extra pick.
All right, Ryan.
Oh yeah, you know I'm trading back for Morrison.
Okay. What about you, Shane?
I'm going up for Colston Loveland.
Ah, there we go.
I love Colston Loveland, and I mean, it seems like the Eagles are definitely moving on from Goddard, and I think Loveland's got the chance to be a really good player. And I don't know that I feel that way about a lot of guys in this class. So if we could go up and get him, I'd do it.
All right.
Fun fact: we did 3 separate mock drafts last night, and each one of us traded away Dallas Goddard.
I hate you all.
I hated doing it.
I hate myself. Yeah.
I know.
All right.
Love them.
We have a few trade up and trade down ones, and then we're going to get to some pick number 32 ones, pick number 64 ones, and then some NFC East ones. Would you rather, Ryan, trade up to select Jalen Walker or trade back in the second round and draft Olu Oladejo? Which edge linebacker would you?
So wait, so I'm trading up in the first to get Walker, and I'm trading
back
in the second into the third, or from the first into the second?
First and the second.
Oh, I'm going all up for Walker, baby.
Okay.
Hell
Good
yeah,
call.
baby. Let's go. Georgia linebacker. Can't beat it.
Shane.
Walker's going top 10, right? So I don't think it's economical. I like Walker,
if he's
but I'd
sitting
go
there at
back in that
15?
situation. I think you're trading a future first to get up high enough to get Walker, so I'll go back.
David.
I think Walker's a top 5 player in the draft. So I agree with Shane. It's not economically viable to move up for that. Plus, I have a first round grade on Aladejo. So if I can move back 30 spots and still get him, yeah, I'm doing that.
All right. Shane, would you rather trade up and select cornerback Will Johnson or trade back and select Siobhan Ravel?
Man. I don't love either guy, to be honest. So I would probably trade back and take Siobhan Ravel, but I mean, I guess I would be fine in a trade back to get him. I don't love him. I've got like a late second on him, but I'll go back and get Ravel.
All right. What about you, David?
I'm going up and getting Will Johnson. I think he's the best corner in this draft. Siobhan is, I really like him. I went to the same college, but he's a little older, and he's got an injury history that I would not want to really deal with.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'd move up for Johnson for sure.
Okay. Pumpman says he's got Nick Scorton over Jalen Walker. That's fascinating. Rufus, I just want to hear Philly people trying to say the UCLA kids. I thought it was Oladejo. That's how I've been saying it.
I never
Still
felt
Timmy.
more accomplished than when I learned how to say Big V's name correctly.
Yeah.
And then when-
I
Yeah, and then when he was gone, I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, I don't get to say it anymore. Halapulavati Vaitai. It was such a fun name to say.
It
I'm all
really
for fun
was.
names.
Davey
What?
says, I do not want Walter Nolan. His interviews worry me. He makes Jalen Carter look like a wise old sage.
I'll say this. If the Eagles look into a guy and they keep him on their board, I'm not concerned. I have full faith in the Eagles when it comes to that. So if the
100%.
Eagles draft Walter Nolan, I will have zero concern about it. And if he's on the board and they don't take him, obviously they threw him off the board. So I just don't worry about it too much, I guess.
That's smart way to think about it.
Pumpman likes Will Johnson, but he runs a
Man,
slower
everybody's
40
slow,
yard dash. Derek Harmon's better than Nolan. I mean, that was the show last night. We kind of all gave like our favorite players. It was Harmon and Nolan. Davey says, I've had enough of times. His mock draft
Let's go. I knew I loved Davey for a reason.
We have found Ryan's alt account.
100%. Hey,
Yeah, I swear I'm not doing anything on here.
all right, let's roll on to pick number 32. David, would you rather draft James Pierce Jr. or Donovan Ezeraku at number 32?
Donovan Ezeraku.
Ryan.
Man, this is tough. Who do I have rated higher? Let's see. Pierce. Yeah.
Okay.
Pierce it is.
Shane.
Yeah, Pierce easily.
Yeah.
I'm not very high on Ezraku.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, you're
I'm
not.
with Izaraku. I'm team Izaraku. I think he's a better fit.
His bend is incredible. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I think we're finally going to get the right Tennessee defensive lineman back for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to right a wrong.
Okay.
Ryan, would you rather draft Gray Zabel or Tyler Booker at number 32?
Oh, it's got to be Booker. Listen, I enjoy Gray Zabel, but yeah, I have Booker pretty high on my list. I think he's my 19th prospect.
Shane.
Man, that one's a big toss up for me. I think I'll say Booker because he's so much younger, but I've got them rated very similarly. So I'll say Booker, but that one's really close.
Shane, you have Booker at 41 and Zabel at 37.
Yeah. Overall, overall. But if I'm talking Eagles, so this is where like you get into Eagles specific stuff versus overall, because for Eagles specifically, Booker's like a guard and he's gonna have to switch from left to right, but he's like that dense, moves people in the run game that Mekhi Becton was. He doesn't have like the athleticism, but you can get away with that when you've got an athletic right tackle and an athletic center. You can just pull one of them. So I wrote in my scheme fit for him that he's a good fit as an offensive guard in a run-heavy scheme that focuses on duo and pin-pull concepts, which the Eagles love to run. So I think he's a really good fit for the Eagles. But I would love Zabel, too. He brings a lot of versatility. Either one I would like.
David.
Yeah, Booker by a lot for mainly everything Shane said. He is just a perfect fit. I do love Zabel's versatility, but give me the Mauler. Let's keep the running game going.
The only thing that would make Booker a better fit is if he had played 1,700 snaps at right guard instead of left guard, because you would be asking him to switch sides. But theoretically, that shouldn't be that hard to do on the interior.
No.
Yeah, I'm team Gray Zabel all the way. Rufus says Pierce all day. Ezra Raku's a late second talent.
That's where I have him. I've got him late second.
I guess I'm
Zabel
not.
all day.
Everybody else picked Booker. Huh? I love how I'm getting all the hate for it.
Booker is not a great puller, not a fit.
Everybody doesn't have to be able to pull, though. Like, if the guy on both sides of you can pull, then you can work with that. So,
all right, David, you're up, man. Would you rather Derek Harmon or Kenneth Grant at number 32?
Derek Harmon by a lot. He's my favorite defensive tackle in the game.
Ryan.
Wow. I think this is tough. I like them both, but I think I gotta go Kenneth Grant by a hair.
yeah, Derek Harmon, and it's not even close.
Man, I think Kenneth Grant is kind of being underrated here. He's a very good athlete. All right, Ryan. I picked the two biggest boomer bust prospects here. Would you rather? Sorry, you get one. That's just the way it worked. Shamar Stewart or Nick Scorton at number 32?
That's a tough one. I think Scorton. Yeah, I'm gonna go Scorton for me. I think I have Scorton in my top, definitely my top 25. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Stewart, to be honest.
Pop man says Scorton all day. What say you, Shane?
I've got them ranked about the same. They're like 5 spots apart on my board. Wouldn't love either one at 32, but at that point, I think I would probably just take the swing on the ridiculous athlete and go with Shamar Stewart. But I wouldn't love either pick.
David.
I agree with Shane. I think I have them both in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, but I'm going with the most athletic. I'm going Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart, it is. Shane, would you rather draft wide receiver Luther Burden
Ooh.
or offensive tackle Josh Connerly at number 32?
Connerly. I'd rather have Connerly. I think if you get Connerly, you're purely getting him for an eventual Lane Johnson replacement. I don't think you can kick him inside, but I still think that's more valuable to this offense probably than Luther Burden, than like a slot receiver that I'm not that high on to begin with. So I would take Connerly there.
David.
Agreed. For all the same reasons, Connerly. I think he's just a better player and fit for the Eagles.
Ryan.
No, I can't do it.
I kind of picked two positions that are kind of luxury picks.
No, I'm taking Burden all day long. I cannot take a tackle that's going to sit for 2 freaking years. First pick. At least Burden will get out there and run around. I don't care if he even catches it.
Yeah, if you made it Emeka Egbuka, I would probably take Egbuka, but
Oh,
Agreed.
wow.
I would too.
I'm lower on Burden.
I'd also take that as well.
Pumpman says Shamar Stewart has Vernon Golston vibes. Let's go on.
Humber has a lot of vibes, doesn't he?
All right. Shane, I think.
Sounds right.
Shane?
No, actually, I think I was first on that one.
Okay, David, you're up. Would you rather Michael Williams or interior offensive lineman Tate Ratledge at number 32?
Michael Williams. And it's not even close. And I love Tate Ratledge, but I'm going with Michael Williams.
Ryan.
I love Tate Ratledge. In fact, we're going to be talking about him later, but it's Michael Williams by a mile.
Okay. Pumpman says Tate all day. What about you, Shane?
Tate Ratledge.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, I'm also at this moment stripping Ryan of his helmet sticker for Tate Ratledge and assigning that to myself for later.
That's how you are.
Yeah, I'm taking Tate in that situation.
All right. Rolling forward. Ryan, would you rather draft cornerback Maxwell Hairston or safety Nick Emanwuri at number 32?
None, but I guess if I have to do one or the other, who was it? I'm sorry, Emanwuri, and who else?
Maxwell Hairston.
Emanwuri.
Okay. Shane?
I would take Hairston. I'm with Ryan. I wouldn't love either of those picks at 32, but I would take Hairston.
What about you, David?
Agreed. Hairston. He is a really good corner if his head's right. He is a very, very good athlete, very good player. And he would be a dog out there beside Quignon.
Yeah. And I love Nick Emanwuri, but I would go Hairston there.
If I was playing if I wasn't a Fangio defense, I would probably say Emanwuri. I just don't think he's a great fit for the Fangio defense, which is why I knock him down a little bit. Second round, I would love Emanwuri, but you're going to be asking him to do something that's not his strength in Philly.
Yeah. And we've seen how that works out on that defense, not too well.
Pumpman says Emanwuri is more reckless than Sydney. Hairston out, but I would take any of the other top 3 safeties there. All right. That wraps up the first round. Let's go to round 2. Already forgot who's first. Is it Shane?
Yeah.
It's Ryan's turn.
Is it my turn? Okay.
Yep.
Ryan's turn. Would you rather draft Landon Jackson or Princely Amonmielen?
Oh my God. Man, that's a really tough one. I literally have them, I think, right next to each other. Probably Princely because I love Ole Miss this past year. I would love to be able to say Amonmielen a bunch because I did practice it in the mirror. So I'll go with Princely. Give me the original Gator.
What about you, Shane?
It feels like this is a question basically, would you rather have the pass rusher that struggles as a run defender or the run defender that struggles as a pass rusher? And I'll take the pass rusher all day. So give me Princely. I think we can sort out the run defense a lot easier. there's technical things with his run defense. With Landon Jackson, I think he's technically sound. It's just athleticism is limiting his ceiling. I think he's going to be a really good run defender that's going to struggle always to rush the passer. So Princely Umanmielen for me.
2 for Princely. What about you, David?
I agree. I'd go with the more athletic player, and that's Princely.
All right.
For the Eagles.
Shane, you're up. Would you rather draft cornerback Darian Porter or cornerback Azareye'h Thomas at number 64?
Give me Porter. Porter's a little scary because I'm always scared of like 6th-year breakout players. Like late breakouts are scary when you're a 24-year-old beating up on 19-year-olds. But elite athlete, pretty new to the position. I'd probably take the swing there.
All right. What about you, David?
I'd go Thomas for everything that Shane just said, just in reverse. But yeah, I'd just go with Thomas.
What about you, Ryan?
I have Porter rated a little higher, so I'm going to go with Porter there.
I think Azareye'h Thomas is underrated, man. I do. I will go Thomas in this situation. And we'll be talking about Darian Porter in about 30 minutes. Davey says, listening to Howie answer fans' questions, I believe he loves Malachi Starks. He'd love Malachi Starks to fall into range. He spoke about the young Bulldogs. Love it. Anthony loves Darian Porter. Yeah.
I would say talk about Howie's been on a streak here of just subverting expectations, signing Saquon Barkley, re-signing Zach Bond. Like nothing would be more tendency breaker than A, drafting a safety in the first round, and B, drafting a safety with a 5-something relative athletic score.
Yeah.
They've been all about athletes, elite athletes the last few years. So it would be a major tendency breaker, but I'd love it.
Rufus says Thomas is too damn slow. Porter is
I think
old.
the Bulldog could be Tyrion Ingram Dawkins that you don't hear a whole lot about, but I could see the Eagles being very interested in him.
Popman thinks Andrew Makuba is better than Malachi.
Wow.
We have Joseph chiming in. Mason Taylor, or is that who's Walton? Walter Nolan? Let me know, Joseph. Well, I'll throw it up on the screen. But let's go to our next one. I think it's David.
Sure.
Yes.
David, would you rather draft Mason Taylor or Charles Grant at number 64?
Oh, God. They're probably 2 of my top 5 to 7 players in the entire draft. Man. Howie is addicted to the trenches, and he's kind of indoctrinated me, so I'm sticking with it. I'm going Charles Grant. He's probably my favorite fit at OL for the Eagles in this draft.
Charles Grant for David. What say you, Ryan?
What was that again? I'm sorry, Grant and who?
Mason Taylor.
Or Walton.
We'll throw Walter Nolan. Yeah, Walter Nolan in there.
Walter in there. No, I'm taking Mason Taylor. I'm sorry. I hate the idea of a tackle.
I'm taking Michael Mayer.
I would take Michael Mayer.
I'd take him too.
Shane.
Well, then even more reason.
It's Mason Taylor for me, and I love Charles Grant, but I've got a high 2nd-round grade on Mason Taylor, and I've got a high 3rd-round grade on Charles Grant. So there's a decent separation between the two for me. But my favorite moment of ever doing draft stuff is messaging in our Armchair Scouts chat when I was watching O-line film that I found the offensive lineman I want the Eagles to draft, and Dibes just immediately responding and saying, it's Charles Grant. He didn't ask. He just said, it's Charles Grant. And it was. That's who I was talking about. So I love the guy. But 64 is a bit rich for me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's roll on. Would you rather, Ryan, wide receiver Emeka Egbuka or Travion Henderson, running back at number 64?
At 64, Emeka Egbuka? I'm breaking my own ankles. I'm breaking your ankles. I'm breaking his ankles, and I'm running up and grabbing. Wow. Wide receiver of that caliber fall into the second? Easy choice.
Shane.
If those guys are both on the board at 64, I'm trading the rest of the draft for pick 65 and taking them both. But
Yes.
and I'll throw in one of those comp thirds that we have like 7 of for next year. But if I had to pick between the two, I think I'd take Travion Henderson. And I have Egbuka ranked a little higher. But I think given how the Eagles want to run their offense, I think running back 2 would be a lot more impactful than Egbuka would. So I would take Travion.
David.
100% everything Shane said. I have Egbuka probably 20 spots. Well, not 20, maybe 10 spots higher than Travion, but I've known him since he was a kid. He has made people look silly for the past 12 years, and he's going to continue to do it in NFL. There is no way I would pass on him at 64. Absolutely no way. And like Shane said, 2 running backs is going to be a lot more impactful. What did wide receiver 3 get this year? 18 balls? I mean, nothing. Literally nothing.
And I also just think about what that would be able to do for like the longevity of Saquon Barkley too.
Absolutely.
Because it's not just about adding that running back. It's about having a guy you legitimately feel fine giving 12 to 15 touches a game, which is just prolongs your peak Saquon Barkley time too. So, but I would love both. And again, if they're both there, I'm trading everything to get pick 65 as well.
Well, hey, listen, better than Travion Henderson than Kenny Gainwell. But listen, I think Egbuka would be great when we trade AJ Brown for the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Get Abdul Carter.
Look at the pick I just put in our Discord. I don't know if you can pull it up, but look at it.
Okay, I can get it on the screen momentarily.
All right, cool. I got too much going on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Shane. No, I'll throw it to David since.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't get it if you throw it to me.
Would you rather, David, draft safety Kevin Winston or safety Andrew Makuba at number 64?
God. Look at that athleticism, man. Unbelievable. It's
By the
not a
way,
comp.
I would pick Travion Henderson, by the way. I just want to.
Yeah, take that, Ryan.
Yeah, apparently I'm the idiot.
Man. I have
Andrew-
Makuba ranked higher, and I love his fit with the Eagles, but I do like Winston a lot. Man. I'd probably flip a coin and hope it landed on Winston.
Ryan.
Makuba, easy.
Okay. What about you, Shane?
I would take Makuba, but I've got them pretty closely rated. I think they're like 60 and 70 for me.
Yeah, the Makuba's production is just so good. I think the fit is elite. Winston is terrific. Pumpman's pissed off. He's the best safety in the class if healthy. Wow. If just sucks he got hurt because he was on his way for sure.
Yes.
All right. I'll throw it back to you, Shane. Would you rather draft Malachi Starks or Nick Emmanwori on day 1, or one of Xavier Watts, Andrew Makuba, Kevin Winston on day 2?
Okay, so it's Starks or Emmanwori in the first round.
Yep.
And then what was the second round? Watts,
Makuba, Winston.
I'd probably take Watts in the second. I have a first round grade on both Starks and Watts. So if I can get Watts in the second, I'd probably do that and use my first round pick somewhere else.
David.
Watts in the second. Very easy decision.
Ryan.
Yeah, same.
Okay. All right. I'll throw it to you, Ryan. Would you rather draft Mason Taylor or Elijah Arroyo in round 2, or Gunnar Helm, Harold Fannin Jr. in round 3?
I mean, do I even have to answer that?
Mason Taylor.
Obviously, yeah, you could say whoever you want. It's obviously I'm taking Fannin.
All right. What about you, Shane?
It was Mason. Say it one more time.
Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo in round 2, or Gunnar Helm, Harold Fannin in round 3?
Probably still Taylor in round 2, but I do like Gunnar Helm, especially in round 3.
David.
I would take Mason Taylor, but I love Gunnar Helm at 96 also.
Okay. All right. That wraps up our Eagles related would you rathers. We're going to do some quick NFC East ones. Starting off with Shane. Shane, would you rather see the New York Giants select Abdul Carter or the Washington Commanders select James Pierce Jr.?
Ooh. What's Washington's pick number?
Like 29.
Man. I would probably rather see Washington take James Pierce Jr. But I think there's an argument to be made for the Giants with Carter because it's literally like the only thing they're good at is their defensive line. And so part of me would be like, yeah, just take him. You don't have anything else. But
Dave.
I'll say Washington.
Washington for Shane. What about you?
Abdul with the Giants because of the redundancy. It almost doesn't even change anything that they do.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah, same. I mean, as much as it would hurt, yeah, it would also be very funny.
David. I think it's David. Would you rather see the New York Giants select Travis Hunter or the Washington Commanders select Will Johnson?
The Giants select Travis Hunter and just see the confusement of how to utilize this guy over the next few years.
That's so well said. Ryan?
Oh, yeah, that's probably because I feel like that'd be a great value pick for the Commanders. So I'll go with Hunter to the Giants.
Shane?
Who was the Commander's option again?
Will Johnson. Will Johnson, and that's a big need for them.
Yeah. I would rather the Giants take Travis Hunter.
Okay. And then last but not least, Ryan, would you rather see the New York Giants select Cam Ward or the Washington Commanders select Amari Hampton?
Giants select Cam Ward.
Okay. What about you, Shane?
I would rather the Commanders take Omarion Hampton.
David?
I agree with Shane. I would rather the Commanders take Omarion Hampton. I don't want the Giants to have anything close to a competent quarterback, so let's keep them away from there.
All right. That basically wraps it up. That is our 2025 NFL Draft Would You Rathers. Guys, if you're watching us not live, make sure you comment down below your selections. If you have another Would You Rather, we'll bring it up, during the draft watch party. Anthony chimes in, says Cam Ward because the Giants are not good at coaching quarterbacks. Pumpman says that he wants the Cowboys.
There was no Cowboy Would You Rather. Huh?
Nobody cares about the Cowboys. Let's be
I don't care about any of the other two, but whatever.
All right. Shane, final thoughts before we wrap it up. Plugs, time yours.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining in for the show and for following along with all the coverage in the lead up to the draft. It's been a lot of fun doing it, especially when we can all gang up and pick on Ryan. So keep that energy. We got another show after this you guys can show up and hang out on. And then, of course, be sure you tune in on Thursday for our live draft show. We're going to cover round 1. It'll be a lot of fun, just like we did last year. So you can follow me on Twitter if you're not at ShaneHalfNFL. I haven't been tweeting a lot lately, but I keep telling myself I need to start again. So follow me there. Follow the Eagles Pinpool Network, and thanks for joining in.
At Shane Half NFL. Ryan, you're up, man.
Yeah, man, this has been a fun ride. It's almost here, but there's no rest as 2026 is going to start soon thereafter. So yeah, I have no idea what's happening with the screen here, but anyway, yeah, please come join us on this network. Whether you're a YouTuber, you're on Twitch, Twitter, X, or whatever the heck we're calling it, Facebook, we'll all be live here for every second of the draft. right up until the Eagles trade out of the first round.
David. You're up, David. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, I echo everything everybody else said. Join us on Thursday night. And last year, I think we were breaking the picks a solid minute before they were telling it on the networks. So it's another good reason you can show off and brag to everybody that you're just guessing all the picks correctly before they actually happen on the television.
Yeah.
But thank you all for engaging during this entire process. It's been a lot of fun listening to everybody's difference of opinions and scheme fits and reasoning for everything has been pretty enjoyable this year. It hasn't been a lot of chaos. And I'm looking forward to doing the show on Thursday night.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, we've got Eagles draft trivia. I'm doing an entire 4 different segments on my favorite players for 2026. I'll break that out. And yeah, we're just going to be we have our over-unders. We'll probably go over that as the draft progresses. Oiler Titans thinks the Titans taking Cam Ward will change the face of the AFC. Wow. Interesting.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
Josh Allen and Joe Burrow have been put on notice, and we want AJ Brown back.
I'll tell you what, Cam Ward can change the face of the AFC all he wants, but I'm sorry, you can't have AJ Brown back.
Yeah.
There's already a handshake deal with the Patriots. to
Right.
move
Yeah.
up to number
Exactly.
4, so.
We're already getting Abdul Carter, baby.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Be sure to join us on Thursday. But right after this, we're going live and talking our favorite prospects. It's our My Guys episode of Armchair Scouts, where we gush about our most highly ranked prospects, and that we're going to say why we love them. And the person that has them lowest is going to rebuttal, is going to say why they're the lowest. So be sure to stay tuned to the channel. We'll be live momentarily. He is Shane Haff at Shane Haff NFL, David at PHL Eagle News, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. Thank everyone for watching. See you on the other side. Go.